place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. I have a question. This is for black men. Well, I guess it's for black women, too. I guess y'all can answer, since y'all answer for us about everything else, right? Whenever something about black men come up, black women tend to always want to answer for us. And they seem to think they know what's best for. I sound like I'm Sherwin Hughes now. And so I had a question. And what prompts, as always, many of my questions is reading news stories where the person that's writing it. And I got to tell you, current journalists or people who call themselves journalists who put their personal thoughts into a story, I find stupid and idiotic. Just tell me what the story says. You know, they always want to make it be this flashy thing or add substance to it to make it always positive, right? And it's just too much. And the weird part about it is it doesn't matter the race of the journalists. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, male, female. They tend to always, yes, about them I'm generalizing. They tend to always want to make it something bigger or more than it really is, when it's really quite simple. Which drove me to ask this question when I read this story. Who said black men can't be vulnerable? Like, where does that come from? Do you challenge white men or Hispanic or Asian men or Pacific Islander men or Native American men to not be vulnerable? Well, like, why is it we have this thing about, it's great, right? TheGrio.com has a story. June is Men's Mental Health Month, and I get it. A time to not only, first of all, on a side note, I'm tired of us naming months for everything. If we can stop St. Patrick's Day, what's the other one? See, they didn't call it Indigenous whatever that we done forgot about Columbus. President's Day, all that. If we can get rid of all that, we can get rid of Black History Month. We can get rid of all that, right? Every day is Black History Day. We make history every single day. So does everybody. So let's get rid of that. This Men's Health Month, okay. Not only a time to center the emotional well-being of men, but to also radically imagine what it looks like when Black men specifically are allowed to feel. Who said Black men were not allowed to feel? So when Allen Iverson let the tears flow when reflecting on his friendship with Shaquille O'Neal is a reminder of the power of friendship and vulnerability. Let me roll up Hanaya Philogene, Philogene. In Netflix Power Moves, the new documentary chronicling Iverson and O'Neal's journey to rebrand Reebok basketball, viewers get a rare look at a softer side of two cultural giants. The former NBA MVP Iverson, once known for his fierce intensity on the court, took an emotional pause while speaking with his longtime friend and now business partner. What is this emotional pause garbage? Like we have to flip back and forth? Iverson said of O'Neal per People magazine, "I love him so much. I don't want to be up here crying and blank. You know what I mean? I just love him." Since when did Black men not tell Black men they love them? For Iverson, showing that kind of vulnerability didn't come easily. "I'm an emotional guy," he said, "but I don't like to go there." Well, that's him. He don't reflect, and neither does Shaquille O'Neal reflect all Black men. The story goes on to say, but go there he did. And in doing so, here's the ridiculous part. He gave a voice to a kind of love between Black men we rarely get to see celebrated, platonic, deep, and overflowing. Where have you been the last 50 years? Like, do you not have friends or something? Or the Black men in your life don't have friends? He describes Shaq as a big brother, a mentor, and just everything you're supposed to be as a man. "I love his family. I love how he raised his kids," he continued. "I learned from him. You know what I mean? He's just a beautiful guy. I can't talk about him." So I don't understand why we seem to have this thing that Black men don't show they love each other. Maybe it's the organizations you're in. Maybe it's I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the family you came from. I mean, we blame everything else on everything. Let's blame that on what? Like, what is that? I've seen men cry. I've cried. My friends have cried. Not at sad things, but at happy things. Where is this coming from? Where is all this ridiculousness coming from? In his new chapter, Iverson seems lighter, reflective. "I'm just happy," he said. "I'm just happy about the people in my life that helped me in my maturation. The people that I know love me, and they show it. They really, really show it to me. I think it's just a beautiful life." And Black men have shown they love each other. I'm trying to think of the biggest one. Millennia? Yeah, it's 1,000 years. Like, I don't understand the big deal. I just don't understand the big deal, because in most organizations I'm in, We've literally said and told each other, hey, love your brother. Not in a, yeah, I love you, but you know, you kinda. But I mean genuine caring. Where you go above and beyond, where you pick up the phone and say, help. And they come. Not because, well, what you need help with, but because you come because they called. Now, that, of course, has its limits because you want to make sure that you stay within bounds. But if asked, absolutely. Where did this come from? That black men don't show vulnerability. Yeah, we got to always be tough, and we always got to show. That's on the person looking at you. That's their problem. I would never not be vulnerable or cry. I've been at car accidents and cried with a kid laying on the pavement, hit by a car, not breathing, or a kid injured, or a person where someone's life is just gone in an instant. You can be tough and vulnerable at the same time. But this thing about black men not being vulnerable, it's a lie. You agree or disagree? 833-212-1017. I'm not even torn about it. For me, it's insulting that somebody would actually sit here and say, black men, they're showing vulnerability. And of all the people in the world, you pick a sports star to represent black men? Come on. There are black men every day with their kids, their spouses, their friends, loving and caring and going through life with ups and downs and tears of sadness, but mostly tears of joy. And then you write an article as if you opened up something because this current generation has decided being overly vulnerable is the thing to do, when in fact, secretly, people think you're weak. It has to be balanced. You can't always be emotional, always be vulnerable. Part of the issue my generation has is that you overshare. And when you overshare, you paint a picture of yourself that's incomplete because all you see is the vulnerability part, and you don't see the mental toughness, you don't see the resilience, you don't see the go get it, you don't see the fight, you don't see any of that. And that is the problem. But for somebody to write in an article that black men that black men deserve safe spaces to feel, if you're a grown man and you need a safe space, you should probably reevaluate your life. Because everywhere is safe. And that lie, that's from the pit of hell.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your girl DT from The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. Now listen, at a critical time, through the Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, Old National Bank provided the resources I needed to sustain my business. Now the process had its challenges, but I was supported, and it was also an invaluable learning experience for future ventures. I am so grateful for the support that helped my business thrive. Old National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl Noni Juice for my friends at Steinhoffels. And nothing beats a great night's sleep on a beauty rest from Steinhoffels. Right now, you'll get a free foundation when you buy a Beauty Rest Black or World Class mattress. Queen mattresses start at just $30 per month when you use Steinhoffels' 60-month financing. And with Steinhoffels' 110% price guarantee, 120-night sleep guarantee, and free delivery, you can't make a mistake. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop in-store or online at Steinhoffels.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent, as an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Look, y'all done got me going now. Let me log in. Let me log into YouTube because I got to answer some of these questions because y'all be. God, I love live talk radio. 833-212-1017 is the number if you got any comments on vulnerable black men. It's just one of those days, right? Some days I can type in my password and it goes in like boom, and then other days I type in my password and the computer looks at me like, what are you doing? Like that's not your password. And it is. But getting back to vulnerable black men, I think that it's just one of those things that people make the assumption that black men are not vulnerable, and I think they are. I think that they have shown that they have an array of emotions that they show, and so for people to assume, well, you have a safe place now. I've always had a safe place. The trick is, do you care about how other people think about you when they don't know you? Or if someone doesn't like you? Do you care? And mine is no. James, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Fine, sir. And yourself?
I'm good.
My feeling is this, Dr. Ken. Either you will realize at some point in time that you're vulnerable, or life will show you that you're vulnerable.
Yeah, it will.
At some point in time.
Yeah, it will.
And I'm sure there's many men right now today, and some of the correctional institutions had admitted to themselves that they were vulnerable. I think they probably wouldn't be locked up right now.
Yep. And their response emotionally caused them to do something that then caused them to get locked up.
Yes, yeah. Yes. And last but not least, I do care what people think about me, meaning that just to this sense that if it's wrong and you give me a chance to correct it and something that you think about me is not true, I have no problem with that. But if you don't want to hear it, then that's fine.
Well, part of that is this, right? Okay. If I do something wrong and you don't tell me and you hold it against me, I'm not walking around with it. I'm not carrying that garbage around. So to be mad at me about something I did or said and then not tell me is ridiculous.
Dr. Kennedy, to say that without getting too deep into Christianity or religion, the Bible says if you have an ought against your brother, go to your brother.
That's right.
You're truly right about that. That's right. Because sometimes we offend people knowing or unknowingly, too.
But wait. But what it says is if your brother's overtaken in a fault, restore him.
Restore such one. Yes,
that means you got to go to him and say, hey, dude, hey, X, you said such and such, and I got something. Well, then, if X comes to me and says, hey, I got a problem with something you said on the air, I'm going to say, well, what did I say? Because the first thing people do is, I apologize. Well, wait a minute. If I meant what I said, I'm not apologizing. Let's get some clarity about
took it the wrong way.
This is what. Well, you didn't take it the wrong way. You took it the way you took it, and I respect that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to apologize because you think I did something. Let's have a conversation. If I need to reevaluate what I said, or if I need to go, well, that's not what I meant. I meant this, so thank you for sharing that with me. I will change next time. I will think it through. I will. But to just roll over, you and I both know, James, neither of us mean that when we say, oh, I'm sorry. No, you don't. You're not. Because you already said it.
That's right.
I already said it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And now you're lying to yourself.
It's always a pleasure talking to you.
All right, take care, brother.
All right, you too.
We lie to ourselves. Let me see. Hey, Quanda, how you doing? Matthew, payday tomorrow. Ooh, I'm going to go find Matthew. Hey, Matthew, can I have $3? RC said slavery, not showing weakness, or maybe after slavery. I'm tired of blaming slavery for everything. Slavery didn't make you wake up this morning and not get out the bed and go to work or try to find a job. You did. So come on. But I get it. Lana said, my ex-boyfriend cries in my presence because he knows I don't judge him. He feels safe. That's the only place he feels safe. Wow. What you mean by that, Lana?
Am I on the phone?
Yeah, you on the phone.
Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. I didn't know you clicked over already. How you doing, Dr. Harris?
I'm fine. How are you? That means you wasn't listening.
No, I was talking to the, I had to clear my throat.
Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't hear all that.
Okay, good. Because, see, he, I don't give out too much information.
Don't give out too much information. Because people know you. And then they be like, oh, that was your boyfriend. And, oh, that was so-and-so.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was like, he's like a boyfriend for way long time ago. Now, you don't hang around exes or anything, but this is special right here because he don't feel comfortable crying in front of a lot of people because, like, he used to be a professional boxer and they'll look down on him and they'll consider him weak, and I don't judge him like that, and he does have a temper, and before he goes out and do something crazy, he'll come and talk to me because I can calm him down.
But that's ego. Like it literally takes more strength to be vulnerable than it does to not.
Yeah, but you know how people, they make fun of you and, call you names and things like that.
You mean the way I grew up and people continue to do today? Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that'll make matters worse, because he lost his mother. He lost his sister.
So we all have death in the family.
Stepmother and
what
wife.
does that mean?
And so
what does that mean? I'm not trying to be mean or not compassionate.
I know you're not.
But what does that mean? Like, you are going through something every single person is going to go through. Their parents are going to die. Their grandparents are going to die. God forbid, their children, their siblings. And until you deal with the fact that that's going to happen, like if you do just that, 95% of it's taken care of. Then I can cry freely and be broken and hurt and go on with my day.
Yeah, but he's not comfortable around people being vulnerable like that, because they have the tendency to use him and make matters worse, make him feel worse.
Well, then stop going around those people. Like I don't get it.
He can't. He have to be around his family.
No, well, not really.
And people he live with.
Not really, but okay.
Yeah, because they're a close family.
Well, you can be close, but I can keep you at arm's length too. Show up at all the barbecues and show up at all the family holidays, but we ain't got to roll like that. I got some family members I don't hang out with. Like I don't even want to mess with them. Like I don't hang
around any of my family.
Well, I don't hang around any of my family. I mean, if my name was Lana Banana, I wouldn't hang around with you either. But I'm just saying.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would hang around me.
You would not.
Would.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, I do, because I hang around myself every day.
Oh.
Yeah. Every time I wake up, I see Lana. They're always in my business, in my face. No, I'm just playing. No, but for real though. But I'm glad that he feels comfortable enough to talk to me about whatever he's going through. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes you need that one person that has an open heart and a non-judgmental ear. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need that one person, because you can't tell everybody what's going on, because then they'll spread some untruth about you, and then there you go again. But he trusts me, and we've been knowing each other for over 40-something years, so we basically know each other. Okay. And I'm just glad that before he go do something crazy, he'll talk to me about it, because he needs to be calmed down. I can calm him down.
Okay, so what does he do when he can't get to you? He just go off and do crazy stuff and beat people up?
He can always get to me.
Well, then he more than a boyfriend. Then he more than an ex, ain't he?
No, he's like a brother to me now. We ain't nothing going on.
Watch this. Wink, wink. Okay.
No, thank you. I don't go backwards like that.
Going back to an ex doesn't mean you're going backwards. But anyway,
I am going
that's
backwards
a whole
because
I don't even want to get into it.
Because that used to be.
This is not the show.
No more words.
This ain't the Sherwin Hughes show, so we ain't going backwards. All right, thank you much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I appreciate you too, Dr. Harris.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, somebody else picked up on that too, X, about the past. Yeah. So anyway, 414-249 said, "Hey, Dr. Ken, I believe black men do show vulnerability and emotion. Some of them kind of show too much, like driving and screaming and hollering at people and shooting guns and anyway. So usually they fear being ridiculed or judged, so they do it in silence. Black men are men. Gods amongst mere humans. No, they're not. Stop that ridiculousness. Black men ain't gods. We ain't king and queens either, so stop. Hey, how's it going, king? I don't know. I'm not a king, so what we doing? Like we set up these false dichotomies, and then we talk about each other, and then when that person fails, the same person that was calling you a king is dogging you when you got arrested. You ain't been convicted of nothing. They arrest you and then let you go. Oh, we ain't got nothing. We bad. And all they talk about is he got arrested. What does that mean? Nothing. But it's like we build people up and then we tear them down and ridicule them when really it's us who's doing the ridiculing and the judging, who has the problem. And then we wonder, well, I don't understand why, people do that. Well, they do that because people that do that are insecure in who they are. They are not comfortable, and most people, no, some people are not comfortable with who they are. And I mean warts and all the bad stuff, the dumb stuff you did, the past. The past is in the past. You can get mad at your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever, doing whatever they did in the past, but it makes no sense because it's in the past. There is literally no, well, I'm not going to talk to you about something you said. People have gotten fired from stuff they said 10 years ago. Stupidity. I'm not going to let you come in this school because you said when you were 13. Like, what? You can't come to our college because, 6 years ago you said as a child with a child's brain, because you heard your parents say it, you call somebody the N-word. Like all kind of ridiculous stuff. You got arrested and got a ticket as a child, so you can't go. Like, we hold everything against everybody else, but we only hold the things against other people, the things we didn't do. You should stop smoking. And that's only because you don't smoke. You should stop drinking, only because you don't drink. Now, I could tease people about wearing earrings in their ear because I used to wear an earring in my ear back in college. So I could tease people. Why you got 2 earrings on? 1, I get 2. Something wrong with that. But that's me. You should be okay if you have 2 earrings in your ear to wear 2 earrings and wear it proud. That's a man. That's a man who goes, you got 2 earrings on, and I go, so? But that's how I test some people, right? How do you feel about yourself? That makes no sense. You have, wow. Like somebody actually walked up to me one day, now look at this on YouTube, said, did you know you have a big head? Your forehead is huge. So you know what I did? I pulled out a picture of me when I was literally 3 years old. Had on this ugly, I would rather die than wear this shirt. Pink shirt, one of them rich pink shirts, and some maroon shorts. And there's that little head with a big forehead. And I said, you mean like this? I can't believe you showed me that picture. I said, dude, I've had a big forehead my entire life. You either embrace it or you go, well, I gotta, wait a minute. I'm gonna put my hat on so nobody can see my big forehead. And then people look at you in the hat and you know the first thing they say? He probably covering up his big forehead. Are you kidding me? You would change your entire life because of what somebody else who you don't even know well. Like, do you hang out with people you went to elementary school and high school with? No. You barely hang out with the people at college. People you meet in college are people, 2 or 3, 4 of them, you're going to keep for the rest of your life. Everywhere else, you might see them. Do you even go to an 8th grade meeting? No, you don't go to an 8th grade reunion. You go, oh, yeah. Like 20-some years ago, we went to elementary school together. And then you go about your business. You don't even remember the person's name. And we worry about what someone who doesn't know us, who has no power over us, who can't do anything to us in 5 seconds. That's like looking at the pretty girl that walks by, right? And your spouse and your wife gets mad at you. What are you looking at that girl for? I'm like, I don't know who it is. She's gone, and I will never remember who she is. I don't know her name. I don't know where she's from. Same thing with guys. Your girl look at a handsome guy, so? Because the handsome guy was looking at her. Like, it's just, we get so tied up in other people's stuff when really it's our own insecurities. And until we fix that, I don't know. Well, Daniel, give me a call. You said you find that interesting and have questions, but I will digress. Give me a call. 833-212-1017 is the number. And so, but you're supposed to listen to it and find out who. It's live radio. But anyway, I was talking back and forth with X. But at some point, we just need to grasp who we are and be comfortable with who we are. I said something one time to somebody, and they looked at me like, and the reason was they had done something to me that guys do to women, and a woman did it to me. And I called her on it. And I was like, well, why do you care? Well, I said, well, women do this and guys do that. So you can't complain guys looking at that when you look at that. And you know what that person said? Absolutely nothing. Because they knew I was telling the truth. If you're nice, it hit me on the talk and text line at 833-212-1017 or the YouTube chat. I might tell you what it was. And now with 1017 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Northbound on 43, we've got backups from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. The southbound side, pockets of heavy traffic from about Burleigh all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. We've got westbound 94 slowing down from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound has got some backups coming in from just about Highway 164 to Springdale. Back on the brakes from about 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th. That earlier accident is now gone. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 51. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 70 at the lake, 76 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So, Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about, what am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. One day after their 8-game win streak came to a screeching halt on Tuesday night, the Milwaukee Brewers bounced back for the 9-1 win over the Reds in Cincinnati.
1-0 is a high fly ball, deep left field. Benson back at the track wall, gone. Isaac Collins, a 3-run shot.
The Brewers would win 9-1. They improved their overall record to 34-29. Over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers resumed OTAs this week in Green Bay. Head coach Matt LaFleur says don't read too much into who plays and who doesn't.
As far as who's in with who, I wouldn't read into it at all. I mean, we don't even have any pads on.
Next up for the Packers is minicamp beginning on June 10th. And lastly, over to the NBA, where the Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after 5 seasons as their head coach. Thibodeau taking them to the Eastern Conference conference finals, which was the farthest they have gone in 25 years. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Sexy.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. What's up, Mao? What's up, Sincere? What makes a king? He said, I do. No. You don't even know what the heck. Man, stop. EVC says, so glad you let black people know we are not kings and queens. So I get so tired of hearing that nonsense. Me too. And so my reply to the other people that was saying stuff is shaking my head. King, really? Fake. Most black people who are descendants through slavery don't even know their heritage or tribe. How can you call yourself a king or a queen? Sincere said, I'm a god and king, black and highly favorable. You mean favored? Okay. And then Lana said, dang, I've seen bigger foreheads than yours. I have too. They're called bald. And so somebody asked me, somebody said, you get your hair cut? I said, if I let my hair grow, my hair will grow to about 3 or 4 inches, and then it'll start to curl, and it'll get really tight. And I don't like that. So I keep it cut really, really low. Plus, I have one of those, like, bald spots in the top and in the back, but I've always had it my whole life. Like, even when my hair grows long, it was always thin there in my 20s. So when I started starting to gray around 24, 25, I started cutting my hair. During COVID, I let it grow pretty long. But then I just kind of evened it out, and then my beard grew in, and then people got jealous. Like, hey, how your beard grows so fast? I said, I just shave it every day. So if you train your beard and you shave it every day, and then it grows, and then you shave it every day, then I waited every 2 days, and then I waited every 3 days to shave, and then every 4 days, and then I went about 2 weeks, and then it started to grow even because it got trained, and all of a sudden, poof. So if I let it grow, it'll grow into a nice long, and then it'll start curling, and then I'll get ingrown hair, and then it'll just be bad. So I just keep it cut. How often do you get your hair cut? Every 2 to 3 weeks. I get my hair cut every 2 weeks like clockwork. Every 2 weeks. People say, you cut your hair? You ain't gonna. Hey, Daniel, yeah, we know. That's why we didn't repeat it, because we don't want to get nobody in trouble. And you ain't being silly. We got it. We noticed that. Yep. We was like, I'm not going to repeat that because, I can't believe she talked about my forehead. Can you believe she talked about my forehead? Hurt my feelings. Talk about my forehead. So, X, put your headphones on, turn your microphone on. I got a question. Now, you say you're into sports, right? You got to actually talk.
Yes.
Okay. See, this talk radio, nodding your head is like, I don't know. So, and I like the fact that I can tease X, and he just kind of looks at me like, that's stupid. That's dumb. Like, you can see his brain on, yeah, whatever. Right? Because it's back and forth. And he hits me with some, too. I'd be like, ooh, that was kind of mean. But it really wasn't mean, because I really didn't get bothered by it. But this should bother you. Sports. Should players be able to play their 5th year of eligibility in college if they go to grad school?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I'm a player kind of guy, so if they want to, get an extra chance to go play somewhere else, they should be able to.
Well, not necessarily somewhere else. Just play at the same team. Why can't you play at the same team? Like if I go to University of Wisconsin-Madison and I go to grad school, I played for 4 years, I should be able to play my 5th year of eligibility as a grad student. Shouldn't I?
I'm not against that, but normally they transfer.
Why?
I have no idea.
Well, there's a story where the Department of Justice is evaluating a lawsuit by Zech Ziegler, who's challenging the NCAA's limit on extra year eligibility. United States Department of Justice is weighing in on a lawsuit by former University of Tennessee basketball player Zech Ziegler, who is challenging the NCAA to play for an additional year while collecting compensation for his name, image, and likeness. Ziegler, who recently graduated from an undergraduate program, said in the lawsuit that he plans to pursue a graduate degree at University of Tennessee. He is the latest in a list of college athletes filing lawsuits against the NCAA, saying he hopes to compete in his 5th year of college basketball, arguing that he has a 5-year eligibility window despite already graduating from UT's undergraduate program. The lawsuit argues that an arbitrary NCAA rule limits student athletes to participate in 4 seasons of competition. It also claims the NCAA's rule violates the Sherman Act, constituting an unreasonable restraint of trade because when student athletes' eligibility ends, they are effectively locked out of the NIL market. And the lawsuit argues that many other student athletes compete during their 5th year of eligibility, earn extra compensation for NIL while playing. And the lawsuit said Ziegler's NIL valuation for 24-25 season, 25-26 season, next season, ranges between $2 and $4 million. Should he win this argument?
Yeah. I mean, for what, the last 50, 60 years, college players were basically indentured servants to the universities. I mean, obviously they got, scholarships or whatever, but now there's a lot of money in it, especially for, high-level D1 schools. You're going to see a lot more of these lawsuits coming in because it's actually turned into big business, which I believe it always should have been.
Well, I totally agree. And so one of the issues is the NCAA looks at students as student athletes. The law looks at students as student athlete laborers. So when the labor market steps in, it should override what NCAA decided they wanted to do because they've had a monopoly and have made close to $1 trillion off of players.
Yeah.
And gave nothing in return. They said, well, they got a scholarship. Well, they didn't get a scholarship. The NCAA didn't give them a scholarship.
Yeah. I mean, look at players like Reggie Bush.
Yep.
He made probably for the university at USC, he probably made them hundreds of millions of dollars during that time.
Look at this. Everybody at Alabama.
Exactly.
But yet couldn't get paid.
Exactly.
And it took a school like Northwestern, that has a great law school, by the way, and they got lawyers, and they went, nope, we're going to argue this. And they won because you were literally pimping out players. You had to wear the coach's shoes. You had to have the idiocy on your jersey because that's what the NCAA said you're going to put on there. You got a sponsor, but you can't get paid. Well, that'll mess up the game. How does it not mess up the game for the coach, but it messes up the game for the player when the coach is getting paid tens of millions of dollars and you're getting nothing? Nothing. So, interesting. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
That's right. You was one of them scholarship athletes, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Stealing school's money.
No.
Getting paid. Well, we gave you an education for it. Dude, that little measly education versus $4 million, I'll take the $4. I mean, think about this. I can go to school, play for 4 years, get paid, and roll.
Yeah.
Now, the people I think it'll hurt is the NFL and the NBA. Because if I'm a good player and I don't want to go to the NBA or NFL, I can just get my money on nil and roll out. And those marginal players that are still good, that have name, image, and likeness payments, they can just leave.
Yeah, for players like Cooper Flag next year, it's going to be actually like for his rookie contract, it'll be a pay cut.
Yep.
And he'll be the number 1 overall draft pick.
Yep. Well, he was the number 1, wasn't he?
No,
it's next year, right?
It's this upcoming draft this
right.
summer.
And so, should he go?
Yeah, I think so.
But if he doesn't go, he can go back to school and get paid.
Yeah, I mean, the overall money, he'll make a lot more money in the NBA, because, shoe contracts, stuff like that. He'll be able to get a lot more sponsorships. But, players lesser than him and stuff like that. You know, like I can't think of a player off the top of my mind, but some players are worth $5-6 million, but if they go to the NBA or the NFL, they'll be a 5th, 6th round draft pick.
Right.
And that's a huge pay cut.
Right. And so you get the standard contract. And why would I do that? But then again, if my money's invested like I should, I can go take a pay cut. Because in the long run, that second contract is golden.
Exactly.
Right? Unless you're, I don't know, going to Cleveland, you know, and got to deal with Flacco. Who's still on top of his game. So we might, you know, dude might think he gonna go in and flash this dude, but I'm like, Tom Brady at his oldest age smoked most of them. So it was kind of like, you don't have the experience he has.
Talking about Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, he ain't gonna go. He might be number 2, maybe 3, but he ain't rolling in number 1. That's not gonna happen.
I think it'll start off with Joe Flacco starting the first couple weeks, but it'll be downhill, kind of like what happened last year with the Colts.
Right.
You know, they took him out for Anthony Richardson. Then, you know, he put up a couple disaster games, and they had to put him back in there.
Right.
So I think
because it's too soon.
Yes.
He needs to do what Aaron Rodgers did. Thank you. Here's a clipboard. Here's some headphones. Go sit down.
Yeah, I say by week 6 he'll be the starter.
Nah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Depending on how the team's record is. If he's
we're talking about Cleveland.
Yeah.
Depending on how the team's record is?
Yeah,
Come
all
on.
depends. It all depends. I don't know.
The reason why? Come on now.
They got the defense.
Come on now. They do have the defense. They just don't have the offense. So you can stop the other team from scoring, but when you can't score, it don't matter.
Exactly. And then that's when, you know, the fans will get mad, and then they'll be like, okay, let's
we'll
put
see.
Shedeur in there.
You just hoping. You just hoping the black kid make it, right?
No, I just watched enough sports today.
I'm hoping the black kid make it. Like, I don't know. All right, thank you, sir.
Yep.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 17th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in June 17th at 7:05 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget, and right now you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We got Top 5 at 5 coming up pretty soon, but we're calling all Black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We've teamed up with Associated Bank and our Black-owned business Give Back. In each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. So to sign up for your Black Spotlight interviews, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, our partner. Member, FDIC. 833-212-1017 is Lana, you need to stop. You need to quit. This is a big forehead. And then she put this really big, like, oblong. She said, my baby had George Jefferson hairline. What was the George Jefferson hairline? It was pretty. He went from afro to small, so as he got older. So I don't know. Sherman Hemsley. Okay. But getting back to this NCAA thing, I think it's important that players have the ability to use all the laws in the country, and they shouldn't get boxed out by coaches and schools who want to take all the money instead of paying it for them. And so, each school has to have an NIL director who does it, which means y'all need to audit them to make sure they're not steering money to certain players and others. You know what I'm saying? So if I come to a school and I say, I'm bringing $3 million with me, I should get $3 million. Not, we're going to take a cut for administrative this or that. And I don't know how it's set up. But anyway, a hearing they requested a hearing. It's going to be on June 6th. That's Friday in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Tennessee. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to keep up with that. They said, NCAA said eligibility rules are non-commercial in nature and fall outside the scope of the Sherman Act. Not when people get paid. Once people get paid, baby, you fall under the Sherman Act. Sorry. And that's me as a non-lawyer. And clearly, all those lawyers saw something to it because they all filed lawsuits. So this will be an interesting one. If he wins, like those, unknown players at Northwestern, if he wins and he gets it, look out. Because now, if you think the draft is light now, I don't think they're going to get through 5 rounds or 6 rounds in a draft because I'm staying year 5. Speaking of 5, Top 5 at 5 up next.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, please join us for the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee on Thursday, June 19th. The Truth will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., so don't miss out on your chance to celebrate with us with our live Juneteenth broadcast presented by Hope Christian Schools and Carroll University. 1017 The Truth celebration of Juneteenth is also brought to you by American Family Insurance, Associated Bank, Gruber Law Offices, Molson Coors, and Educators Credit Union.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat, and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon, Hour 2. 833-212-1017 is the number. Yes, I said it. It's from the pit of hell. Men can't be vulnerable. I think they're too vulnerable. They cry too much. They use excuse for everything to cry. They went from being so tough and all that to weaklings. And we need to find a balance. We all do. Tough guys need to not be tough all the time. And weak guys need to not be weak all the time. Find your balance. Find your, is it chi they take all that? I don't do all that. I ain't into all that, nonsense. So I'm just teasing. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Gotta make it through.
Number 5.
So has hey, do you know what's taking the place of the BBL? Do you know what a BBL is? What's taking the place of that? You know? Have any idea? What's taking the place of that? Ozempic? No. Well, when you think about black women and plastic surgery, the first thing you think about is the BBL, a backside enhancement procedure. I know very few black women who've actually got that because, anyway, I'm not going to go down that road. But takes fat from other parts of the body to enhance your behind. Well, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, this comes from theroot.com, BBL surgeries increased by over 90% between 2015 and 2019, making it one of the fastest growing procedures. So now we see white girls walking around with junk in their trunk. So it's just interesting. Black TikTok is buzzing with conversation. You ready? Ethnic rhinoplasty. What is that? Well, it's when you get your nose done. It's a procedure done in Turkey, costs between $2,500 and $10,000 compared to if you go to Turkey, it's between $2,500 and $10,000 versus between $8,000 and $18,000 in the United States, $10,000 to $20,000 in Europe. Why in God's name would you get that done? Is it worth the pain? Is it worth the expense? And what are you making your nose look like? Now, I've seen some people with some noses that I thought you should probably get a nose job. But you know what I think about that too? God gave you that nose. Live it. Love it. But people are being inspired to do it. They see pictures of somebody else and they start carving on their nose, and then it's never carved right, and then they make a correction and a correction and a correction, and then they don't have a nose. Think Michael Jackson. Think Janet Jackson. Like Michael wanted his nose to look like Diana Ross. That was the rumor. That was the theory. But then he kept carving it and carving it and carving it to the point where it looked, it was almost like it was an oval shaped nostrils instead of round. I'm like, dude, you're a young black man. Be who you are. You know, the skin lightener, which actually he didn't. He had a pigmentation disease, and so many times he had to cover his skin up because it, you know, just like Keke Palmer, my Chicago girl. She has acne and has pockmarks. And so she uses makeup, and then she looks beautiful and pretty and all that. But when you see her without it, so then one day she went without it, and people start freaking out. Oh, my God, I can't. Like, hey, this is who I am. If you don't like it, like, why do I care? Like, what is that? And so Keke Palmer has really bad, you know, acne. She has, I don't know what it is, derma something. I can respect that. But when she feel like wearing makeup, she wear makeup. She don't feel like wearing makeup. By the way, she has a really, really, really funny, oh my God, it is a phenomenal comedy. I think it's on Netflix. But anyway, it's great. But I'm not getting my nose done. I ain't getting my nose done. Thing is, you can keep fixing things, but it's never going to stop. That's why people who have a lot of money end up looking botched. One person said, Brianna Diane on TikTok, she said, they just keep going and modifying themselves until they no longer look like themselves anymore. Now, this girl has a beautiful nose, but she says she got a nose job. So I wonder what she looked like before the nose. Like, I want to see some before and after pictures. I want to see some before pictures and after pictures. And afterwards, are you uglier than, are you uglier? It's like Chelsea Clinton, right? She's always been ugly to me. Bill Clinton's daughter, she's always been ugly to me. Does she care what I think about her? Absolutely not. She's making millions, running off at the mouth and doing whatever she does and running a nonprofit and doing what she does. God bless her. But I'm just saying. So we as a country tend to take things, I think, a little too far. Or we dive in and look at things in a way that's probably not meant to look at it that way. Like, we've got separation of church and state, right? we have these things in the Constitution, but they're not really in the Constitution. There is nowhere in the Constitution where it says there's a separation of church and state. What it says is that the state can't tell an individual what religion to have. It's different in Great Britain. The church, right? When you become king or queen, you literally are over the Anglican, I think it's the Anglican Church or the Church of England, whatever it is. And so not only do you run the country, you run the church as well. But when we talk about separation, when we talk about right to privacy, well, it's implied through the amendments. You know, you have a Fifth Amendment right to not talk. You have Sixth Amendment, search and seizure, stuff like that. You got all those, but I don't know if it gives you a right to privacy. But yet we follow that doctrine because the Supreme Court said, based on this, you can do all these other things. But is there a separation in church and sports?
Number 4.
So there's a story. New York Jets head coach Aaron Glenn. So fans, you know, they might be feeling some kind of, maybe the Knicks needed this before they lost and got their coach fired. But anyway, fans of the NFL's New York Jets are used to postseason disappointment. Yeah, because they had Aaron Rodgers. But anyway, was Aaron with the Jets or the Giants? Doesn't matter. It's a New York team. They're going to lose. They're going to lose. Their team, whose only Super Bowl win came in 1969, and whose last play, the Bucks were 50 years out, so. And whose last playoff appearance was in 2010. Those who chose to remain faithful to Gangrene. Wow. They call them the Gangrene? That's like, okay, anyway. Despite their less than winning ways, are probably thinking the team could use a miracle to get another shot at the Vince Lombardi trophy. Well, the team ownership has heard their cry and has answered their prayers in the form of a new head coach who is taking a controversial approach to leading his team. Yes, he did that. They hired Aaron Glenn, former defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, as their head coach for the 2025 season to replace interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich. Even though there are still a few months before the start of the season, he's already had fans divided. After word got out, he incorporated Bible study into the team's training. The Jets have a Bible studies. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So one commentator thinks Glenn's approach is exactly what the Jets need to turn things around. Writing Super Bowl, it is. So what do you think? Other fans online think the new coach is overstepping by imposing his Christian beliefs on a team that likely includes players of other faiths. But here's the kicker. He's not forcing religion on anybody. They have a Bible study. If you go, you go. If you don't, you don't. He incorporated it. He instituted it. Yes, we're going to have a Bible study. You want to show up? Show up. If you don't, don't. After every game, we're going to pray at the 50-yard line. If you want to show up, show up. If you don't, don't. But don't say don't do it because I don't want to do it, so nobody should be able to do it. That's not how life works. Others think a team that has had to deal with so much adversity as the Jets could use a little help from the man upstairs. One person wrote on X, if there's a team that needed Jesus to take the wheel, it's the New York Jets. Wow. Wow, that is interesting. Hey, you remember that black female suburban Chicago mayor we talked about months ago that was spending money like a drunken sailor and buying all kind of crazy stuff and redoing her office and all that? Well,
Number 3.
There's an update. Self-proclaimed Democratic supermayor is now going to court. And why is she going to court? Well, Tiffany Henyard reportedly told the judge she was the face of Dalton, but was not responsible for record keeping. The self-described Chicago suburban supermayor is facing mounting legal woes after first being ousted in a landslide election following a scandal-plagued time in office. Former Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, a Democrat, has been ordered to appear for a contempt hearing after she did not turn over public records from her time in office. That's according to WGN9 in Chicago. The Edgar County Watchdogs Incorporated sued the village of Dalton and the former mayor for failing to produce financial records after the administration allegedly disregarded Freedom of Information Act requests earlier this year. The former mayor is about to find out if losing an election is enough to escape contempt of court. An attorney for the Edgar County Watchdog said in a statement to Fox News Digital, Henyard was previously held in contempt of court after she failed to turn over records for her time in office, directly dismissing state transparency laws for elected officials. The complaint reportedly read, the massive public exposure given to the defendant that has brought Illinois corruption into the national spotlight needs to be addressed immediately to save further harm to the state's reputation. And so in a hearing last week, Henyard reportedly told the judge that she was the face of the village and was not tasked with record keeping. Henyard and the attorneys representing the village of Dalton did not immediately, of course, respond for a comment. Last month, Jason House was sworn in as the newly elected mayor of Dalton, ending her tumultuous time in office. Henyard was also defeated by Illinois State Senator Napoleon Harris for her bid for re-election for Thornton Township Supervisor. Henyard made national news last year in April after the FBI served subpoenas at Dalton Village Hall following corruption allegations from local officials. And so she wasn't charged. Village trustees voted to hire Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to lead an investigation into the administration, with the town meeting descending into chaos as supporters of Henyard clashed with her opponents following the decision. So check this out. Lightfoot reportedly discovered the village's general fund fell from an initial $5.6 million to $3.6 million. That's $2 million that just went up somewhere. And the local government's credit card charges added up to over $779,000. In February, a federal subpoena was issued, coinciding, unfortunately, with the day Henyard was defeated in her mayoral primary, Fox 32 reported. The filing relates to a development project involving land owned by her boyfriend. So she's got to be in court this Friday. I'm going to make sure I'm in work. I'm at work Friday, God willing, to make sure I hear about this story. I mean, just flagrant. So we'll see. You think she'll end up in jail? I don't know. But at the rate she's going, she's digging her own hole. All right, so 4th of July, which do you prefer? X, which do you prefer? Fireworks or a drone display? That's strange. You don't want 4th of July fireworks, celebrate America? Really? Do you live in Milwaukee? Then, you know, one doesn't correspond with the other. Loud and downtown. Like, those go together. Like you not liking it and living downtown doesn't make any sense to me. Ain't nothing down here. Anyway, he says surprisingly quiet. I get it. Fox 6 Now, County Executive David Crowley and Milwaukee County Parks announced, I should probably do this first.
Number 2.
They announced today that a drone show will light up the sky over McKinley Beach Thursday, July 3rd. Well, according to a new release, the drone show will feature 3 waves of drones lasting 14 minutes each. The show will blend cutting-edge drone technology with an original synchronized soundtrack for a 45-minute performance. Viewers can expect images of Milwaukee's most iconic landmarks, other patriotic and local themes. Crowley said Milwaukee is at its best when we come together to create memorable, inclusive experiences for everyone. What does that even mean? Oh, by the way, X, you're not included. Like, I don't know. Like, you're not going to include somebody to go see Fourth of July? Okay. We're proud to bring the community together for this first of its kind drone show, highlighting not just why has everybody gotta experiment with Milwaukee? Figure out whether it works somewhere else first, then do it here. They're going to highlight the beautiful lakefront, but the creativity and collaboration that will make Milwaukee County so special. Drones going to make y'all special? Okay. Thanks to the Milwaukee Parks Foundation, incredible efforts to secure sponsorships. This drone show, another example of how we're investing is a drone show investing in your parks? No, it is not. Stop it. Our neighborhoods and our shared sense of community pride. Well, I kind of like the Milwaukee Parks Foundation. They support efforts that bring people together in parks. We're grateful to the many partners who came together to reimagine a beloved community celebration in an innovative and inclusive way. That was from Rebecca Stoner, the executive director of Milwaukee Parks Foundation. I mean, I get it. Drones. And if one of them things fall out the sky and hit somebody, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh that it fell. I'm not going to laugh that it hit somebody and hurt them. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh. It's just drones. Well, you got to be innovative. You got to be. So here it is. Thursday, July 3rd, McKinley Beach and surrounding areas, 9:15 after dark, 3 waves, 14 minutes each, around 45 minutes. And the makeup date will be Sunday, July 6th. A synchronized soundtrack will accompany the drones, available for personal download by attendees in most. Really? How much did we pay for this nonsense? That's what I want to know. How much did we pay for this nonsense? Somebody go ask the Milwaukee Park Foundation, how much y'all pay for drones? How much? How much? How much? Makes this is me, makes no sense. Now, if I see it and it's great, I'll come on the radio and say, you know what? I think it was great. It was phenomenal. But if it's bad, well, speaking of bad.
Number 1.
This also from fox6now.com. MPS 2024 audited financial report had until Friday, May 30th to turn in those reports. You heard here on the show from Dr. Brenda Casellas that they missed the deadline. They did turn in some things, but not everything. The district was originally supposed to turn in that report in December, but again, that deadline was missed. In a statement, DPI, Deputy State Superintendent Tom McCarthy, issued the following. Withholding funding is a last resort and comes after countless hours spent supporting MPS. We've seen real progress in recent months under the leadership of Dr. Brenda Casellas, and we recognize and appreciate the hard work that has gone into these efforts. Meeting key deadlines is critical to ensure the DPI can accurately and efficiently circulate general aid estimates for school districts across Wisconsin. MPS continues to work tirelessly to complete its required tasks. At this point, there are still some required priority actions which were needed by May 16th and May 30th deadlines. Because of that, we will continue to withhold the $16.6 million from the prior year and begin withholding new aid this year. More information will be provided in a formal notice to the district, which includes exact amounts and steps to recover the funds. We expect that to come later this week. So she did state that she was working on it, and I know they expected this letter to come out. So it's not like it's surprising. But when you have antiquated software and you have things that will not allow you to send your information to the state of Wisconsin, and DPI has had to have known this, why didn't DPI call them out under the old administrator, the old superintendent? Because public folks like that stick together, especially when it comes to schools. And while I get it, it's not right. It's not fair to taxpayers. It's not fair to the school district. And you're holding up the other school districts. And you're holding up the money for special education. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. This is only, well, technically she's still in her pre-start because she wasn't supposed to start till July. And so the question is, if she wasn't here now, would they have what little they have that got sent to DPI? Would they have that now? I don't know. I don't know. It's very telling. It's very telling. And it's unfortunate because we really need to dive into this issue. And that means that the referendum, we're going to have another one. Like property taxes are going up again. So in the end, in the fall, we'll have Dr. Brenda Cassellius back on the show to talk about how MPS is doing and how they're moving forward. I hope it works. I wish them the best. And that's that. We'll see. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm Dr. Ken Harris. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm here for Pella Windows and Doors. Time to upgrade your windows and or doors, but don't want to spend a fortune. Well, starting to get warm outside. It might rain again, but you never know. Pella, the best in the industry, has a product for every single budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments for up to 2 years. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set up your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Summerfest brings the biggest names in live music to Milwaukee's lakefront across 3 unforgettable weekends, including performances from Megan Thee Stallion, Bossman D-Lo, Offset, plus D Grizzly, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Fabulous, Netspend, Ira Star, and more. Don't miss Milwaukee's Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, June 19th through 21st, June 26th through 28th, and July 3rd through 5th. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So, Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do. But I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I'm glad I wasn't scratching nothing. Yeah, we kept YouTube going, and I was like, I just noticed. I went, hey, I'm like, I didn't scratch. I'm like, is he scratching? Oh my gosh! Had people running off YouTube and everything. What's up? Let me see. Let me check the Truth Chat. SC is in there. Truth Chat. Y'all mean. Y'all mean. Did you hear about the girl who's a freshman in high school, and she put her picture on, she gave a picture to her boyfriend. Her boyfriend put it on Instagram, and somebody used generative AI and removed her clothes. And so there was this picture on Instagram of this high school freshman naked. And then the picture started going around and people thought it was her, only to find out it wasn't her. And I'm like, people can do that. So if you think about the fact, watch this. If you get a phone call from Dr. Ken, yeah, it's not me. Because if you can imagine 4 going on 5 years of audio that we've dumped, not dumped, but that's putting something in, radio parlance, digital parlance, dumping it onto the internet for 5 years. You know how much audio that is? 10 hours a day. Nope. 11 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 55 hours times 52 for 5 years. That's a lot. And other places have more. ESPN has more, 620 has more. Like, think about that. Think about it. So it's just weird. That's a lot. That's a lot of audio. And then they can take your words, rephrase them, generate enough because they have enough, and they can actually start having whole conversations, read audio, read a book using your recreated voice. Think about that. Spoof your number. I call X. Oh, it's Dr. Ken. Hey, what's up? Hey, X, how you doing? Better. And just start telling them to do stuff that I didn't tell them to do. I'm not going to be there today, so I want you to do such and such and such and such and such. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I'm going to stop talking. Yeah, that's right. That'll never happen. Daniel says, Sherwin Hughes has an extensive and impressive hat collection. Very stylish, too. Is there a reason why you're telling me this? Is there a reason why I need to know that Sherwin Hughes has a stylish collection of hats? I don't really care. It's like he mocks me all the time, I don't really care. That's my dude, though. Hey, if you want to look ridiculous on YouTube, knock yourself. You say he had a Rick James wig on? Okay. Me, my loudness, you'll see me in a pink shirt. Like, that's me going out. Whoo, he's got a pink shirt on. I'm not wearing a pink shirt. I told y'all, the last time I wore a pink shirt was with my daughter, when they were playing rugby at Divine Savior Holy Angels, and they were at the national championship. I don't even remember where I was. Where was I? Seattle, Pennsylvania. I was in Pittsburgh. And they had us wear these pink shirts. We want all the dads in pink. And I put on that pink shirt, pink polo shirt. You could tell all the DS dads. They won first place. You know, Chin does a great job over there. So does Boris. But it was like, dude, I am not. Pink shirt? And God forbid, what if something had happened? And you see me laying there in this pink shirt. I would have been so embarrassed. I'm just kidding. But I did it for my daughter. You know, one of those. And I think what happened is they heard me say, I would never, you not be teasing and playing around. I would never get caught. I wouldn't get caught dead in pink. And then they said, you should wear pink. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Pink. So I wore it, and they won first place. And so they kind of slammed it. You know, they did pretty good. I wonder what their rugby team is doing this year. I wonder. Miles said, I have a screenshot of it too, Dr. Ken. Really? See, that's the other thing. When you do stuff on the internet, it stays on the internet. Just like me talking to Dear Giannis, and people have been, oh my God, you told him to leave. Like, where'd you even get that from? Where do you take half of a sentence and then stop listening? And then I realize these are sports fans. They don't listen anyway. They just have their opinion, and that's that. I said, did you hear the other part of that sentence where I said, if it is in your best interest, whatever you do, do what's in your best interest. That's what every single human being should do. If our interests are compatible, absolutely. Let's do it together. Let's collaborate. Other than that, I'm not really feeling that at all. You do what's best for you and your family. That's in anything. But yet, we have this thing that, sports players should just stay where they are and just, let their careers just die. But see, I figured that out the way y'all treated Craig Counsell. Y'all love Craig Counsell. Didn't he grow up here? Grew up here, did this, and now he's coaching. And then as soon as he left, you blast him, you go over to the park that has his name and you deface the sign, all kind of ridiculousness. How dare he leave? Well, put it in numerical terms. I make $4 million a year, or just under that. I'm like the second highest paid, maybe the third highest paid baseball manager. And the number one manager makes $4 million. He retires. So you say, hey, I would really love to be number one to be here. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And the Brewers go, cool, we'll give you 4.5. So if the next person gets 4, we'll give you $4.5 million, and then you'll be the highest paid. Ta-da! And the Chicago Cubs, and Milwaukee don't like any teams out of Chicago, no matter what they are and how they win, offers him 8. Craig Counsell should have turned it down. He's a homer. No, he's doing what's best for his family. From what it would have taken him 2 years to make in Milwaukee, he made in 1 year in Chicago with a multi-year contract. So in 3 years, he would have had $12 million, or in 3 years, he would have had 24. Which would you pick? I mean, all things being equal. People are not that loyal to their jobs. Hey, X, you paying me more? Okay, I'm out. Pfft, gone. X's generation is like, oh, you paying me like $8.50 an hour more than what I'm making now? Okay, goodbye. Boop, boop. Do the job till they like it or don't like it, and then somebody else goes, hey, how much you making? 125? I'll give you 150. Okay, bye. Pfft. I mean, look at the tech world. People just do this, round and round and round and round and round. They get paid, they go. Is it that there's no loyalty, or that businesses have no loyalty to the people? You got to find that equilibrium where you will work hardest and I'll pay you the most. But those got to meet. You can't just get paid and sit back and chill. And you can't get paid little and then expect to get, 80 hours a week out of me. That's not going to happen either. And so that's some of the things that we always forget about it. Those are things that we always don't remember about when we work. Like, it's a two-way street. You're working, they're paying. And that's pretty much it. That's all it comes down to. Because in the end, there's only three things in life that we have to look at when we're making decisions. When you want something from someone, there's only three ways, right? You can get it better, you can get it cheaper, and you can get it faster. But you can only get two of those. If you get it better and you get it cheaper, it won't be faster. If you get it cheaper and faster, it won't be better. So, no matter what you do, and if you want it faster, it might be cheaper, but it won't be better. And so no matter how you twist those around, you only get two out of the three. You can get better and faster. You can get better and cheaper. But can you? Yeah, it won't. You won't be able to get it. It'll take a while. And so those are some things we need to realize, that with jobs and people working, you get what you pay for. I'm just saying. And now with 101.7 The Truth traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Well, we've got an issue on 4394 southbound. Right as you're coming off of the high-rise bridge, we've got a crash off on the right shoulder. Delays coming in from just south of Capitol Drive all the way down to that point. On the northbound side, we've got backups from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94, watch for the backups coming out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard, and then back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange pretty much all the way to Moreland Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 51. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 70 at the lakefront, 76 inland. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summer in Milwaukee is nonstop. Festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season you already know. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage, alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture, whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit. Make sure you experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Bratfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
Sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. One day after their 8-game win streak came to a screeching halt on Tuesday night, the Milwaukee Brewers bounced back for the 9-1 win over the Reds in Cincinnati.
1-0 is a high fly ball, deep left field. Benson back at the track wall, gone. Isaac Collins, a 3-run shot.
The Brewers would win 9-1. They improved their overall record to 34-29. Over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers resumed OTAs this week in Green Bay. Head coach Matt LaFleur says don't read too much into who plays and who doesn't.
As far as who's in with who, I wouldn't read into it at all. I mean, we don't even have any pads on.
Next up for the Packers is minicamp beginning on June 10th. And lastly, over to the NBA, where the Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after 5 seasons as their head coach. Thibodeau taking them to the Eastern Conference Finals, which was the farthest they have gone in 25 years. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. You know, Truth Nation, violence is a problem that affects us all, but together we can make a difference. This is why we're hosting our 3rd annual Truth Walk Against Violence, led by Tori Lowe, on Saturday, July 12th, from Victory Over Violence Park down MLK Drive, right to our studios at 3rd Street Market Hall. Over the next month, Tori Lowe is going to be talking to politicians and community leaders about how we can better provide resources to stop the rise of violence. If you want to join the fight to stop violence, go to truthwalkagainstviolence.com. That's truthwalkagainstviolence.com right now to sign up for our Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE, Saturday, July 12th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Speaking of going back to sports, I want to say congratulations to my daughter's alma mater, UW Whitewater, channeling its championship caliber brethren elsewhere in the athletics program. The University of Wisconsin Whitewater baseball team posted football-like scores in securing the national championship at the NCAA Division III World Series. Whitewater demolished the field in Eastlake, Ohio, roaring to the program's third title over Messiah University of Pennsylvania to sweep the best-of-3 finals series. The score, what do you think the score was? 21-5. What were you going to guess? What were you going to guess? 14-7? Yeah. 21-5. The Warhawks in their 22nd season under John Vodenlich, Vodenlich, atoned for a near miss in 2024 when the team reached the 3rd game of the final series before falling to Misericordia. Warhawks have also national titles in 2005 and 2014, with 9 overall appearances in the Division III World Series. That's amazing. Whitewater added 6 runs in the 4th inning, 5 more in the 5th inning, to take a 16-0 lead. 16-0 lead. That's a shame. Had a 2-run homer in the sixth, gave his team an 18. That was from Matt Sconlin. Gave his team an 18-0 lead, and then his second homer was the first back-to-back blast, and Kudwe made it 19-0. It's, ooh. When you get beat that bad, you just let it go. You just be like, okay, all right. We just gonna, we're gonna take the high road. Somebody said, who was that? I'm not gonna say who the person was. I'm not going to say who the person was. They said the Knicks had a moral victory.
Oh, I know who said that. Glenn.
Hey, just out Glenn. Yeah, it was Glenn. It's a moral victory. Moral victory? Dude, you lost. And you want to make it a moral victory? Well, I just feel good about it. Who feels good about losing? It's like, I'm telling you, you want to watch a great movie about competition? Glengarry Glen Ross. It is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And Alec Baldwin, people may not like him, but he's a phenomenal actor. He was great in that movie. He said, this is what you win. It was like, and I forget what he had on. It's like you win a gold Rolex watch, this. Second place, steak knives. I was like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, that's what you get. If you win first place, you get this, you get the ranking. They were selling houses. You get a gold watch, you get a Rolex, you get all this. But if you win second place, you get a box of steak knives. Wow. Like, can you imagine going through the year with a box of steak knives sitting on your desk and everybody knows you lost? That's a moral victory. Well, at least I placed. Oh, yeah. Okay. You got a like $29.95 set of steak knives and you got a $2 billion Rolex watch. What's moral about that?
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our third annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent, as an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, June 19th to July 5th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Get tickets at summerfest.com.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, Truth Nation, join us for the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee on Thursday, the 19th. Truth will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., so stop by our broadcast, say hello, get some free Truth swag. Juneteenth in Milwaukee is one of the oldest and biggest Juneteenth celebrations in the country, so don't miss out on your chance to celebrate with us in our live Juneteenth broadcast presented by Hope Christian Schools and Carroll University. 1017 The Truth celebration of Juneteenth brought to you by also American Family Insurance, Gruber Law Offices, Molson Coors, Educators Credit Union, and Associated Bank. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I think the analysis is going to roll in, and then we're going to have some Tori Lowe show and on throughout the night. So I want to say thank you for being here. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Have a great evening, all y'all on the YouTube chat and the talking text line. Loved having you. Hey, God bless. Take care. I'm out.
Be quiet.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to